Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Sam Omen, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite books of all time, Law of Attraction by Jerry and Esther Hicks, the teachings of Abraham Hicks. Of Abraham, and they say it's by Abraham Hicks, but it's an interesting, complicated situation. Anyway, I read this book via an audiobook. I was using Audible, and at the time, I wasn't really that into law of attraction. In fact, I didn't even know what that was really. I had kind of been introduced to the idea by Tony Robbins in his book, one of his books, and I loved it. I thought it was a wonderful book, and I'd been exploring some of the people on YouTube who had talked about it a little bit, but not really the people who were really involved in law of attraction and the community around it. So I didn't really know anything about it. But I picked up this book. I think someone recommended it, and I started listening to it. And the audiobook is a audio recording of Jerry and Esther Hicks, and Esther Hicks when she's channeling a spirit, a collection of spirits who've been chosen to be called Abraham. And to start with, this is a very weird book. I love it, and now I'm a lot more open to that idea of channeling spirits and things. But at the time, that was a really kind of weird, kind of crazy thing. And anyway, so let me get into this. This is a book review, but it's also just kind of like a talking about this book, and I'm going to have an image of what the book looks like here. And you guys can check it out. I have a link to the book in the description. So, yeah. Okay, let's dive in. So, starting off, I started reading this book thinking, okay, I want to learn what is the law of attraction. What better way to learn about it than a book called Law of Attraction? And it seemed to be the book that was the authority on the law of attraction in great depth. So, and it is. It is the most in-depth, clearest, most well-explained book that I've ever read about the law of attraction. But it's also the weirdest book I've ever read. And the reason why it's weird is because unless you're really into the metaphysical, spiritual, contacting spirits, things like that, unless you're super into that already and you're pretty warm to the idea of contact with other planes and other dimensional beings, then it was met from me with a lot of skepticism and a lot of, well, this is pretty weird. So whenever I recommend it to people, I'm like, you've got to read this book, but just be prepared, it's weird. Look past the weirdness, and, it's great. And now I'm not in the mindset that it's weird. I don't find it strange or odd, but I realize that when people are first introduced to it, unless they're really into metaphysics, spirituality, higher dimensional beings, then this is strange. And the reason being is because it's audio recordings of an interview between Jerry Hicks and Esther Hicks. And Esther Hicks channels the spiritual energy or the spirit of a collective of spirits called Abraham. And her voice changes. She speaks differently. It's her actual self, and they're recording. So it's creepy. If you're super if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know about it that much, then it's creepy. I almost just shut it off. I was like, oh God, click, but actually it ended up being extremely informative. And once I kind of got past that and opened my mind a little bit and started listening, the wisdom behind it was so profound, and it works. It's truth. And yeah, it was definitely a strange read at first, and then kind of as you got into it. But, it's also what kind of opened me up to understanding myself as a higher being or as a spiritual being. That along with some of the videos by Alicia Powers, which actually I'll link her channel below too, because she's really insightful, and I've enjoyed her videos a lot. And it's not for everyone, but I really think that her videos are informative and useful. So, but the law of attraction essentially is that whatever you focus on is what you attract into your life, into your experience of life. And it goes into depth explaining how we exist as eternal beings, and how we are in this life. We've chosen to incarnate as humans in this life to contribute to the tapestry of the universe, of the world, of the earth, and to participate in the creation at this moment. We've chosen this moment for a reason. And it delves into that and explains that a little bit more in depth. If you're curious about that, it's a great book for that. And then it also explains what the law of attraction is, why it works, exactly how to use it, all of the caveats, the ins and outs. It's not complicated, but people complicate it because we are complex, and we add confusion to things unnecessarily a lot. And so it really helps give some perspective and some ideas on how to overcome that, and how to use the law of attraction deliberately instead of just by default, which you are all the time in life. It also addresses a lot of the issues that people have with law of attraction, which are really important. So a lot of the big questions, or the big reasons why people are turned off to law of attraction, or they don't really believe in it, or they don't agree with it, or they think it's, they're like, well, what about this? How can you explain law of attraction if, and it really addresses all of those elements of people's doubt and skepticism. And of course, people are going to read it and stay skeptics. Then this just isn't the place for you, and that's great. That's cool. You don't have to be a law of attraction practitioner to enjoy my content, because I'm not a law of attraction blog. I'm not a law of attraction focused centric thing, although I do touch on law of attraction. And at the time this video goes up, I will have a video about law of attraction out, and not a whole lot of other videos, so you may think that that's where I'm going, but actually I'm touching on all sorts of spirituality. But that being said, law of attraction is a really great start and a really good introduction to how the universe works in some ways, and also how you work and how your life works. And with the law of attraction, as explained in this book really well, you can create a much broader understanding of yourself, of the universe, of your life, and how to go about in your life satisfied and to really enjoy what you experience. So I really enjoyed this book, and I think that, I really enjoyed this book, and I think that for people who are really wanting a thorough, in-depth, but clear and not overly complicated explanation of what law of attraction is, how to use it, all of the belief and accepted philosophy that goes into using it, accepting it, things like that, is really informative. And I have not read the other works by them. I think the audiobook that I have, I think includes a couple of their books, but it did not include The Vortex, which I've not read, so I'm gonna read that, and I'll let you know how I feel about it as well. But yeah, I think the law of attraction I strongly recommend. And yeah, again, this is what it looks like, and I hope you guys have a really good day. And if you have any other questions, or you want to talk about this more, feel free to comment or send me a message. You can find me on all my social media networks, all linked for your convenience and to make things easy, down below and on my blog. So yeah, I hope you guys have a really good day, and thanks for stopping by.